Thank you so much. I love you and Lisa so much. And with my experience of having hosted virtual conferences in the past, I know what goes in behind the scenes, and this is just breathtaking. This has just been absolutely incredible, and that you pulled this off in such a short amount of time. So we are all so grateful. I am so grateful to be here. And you mentioned the word bold before. We're getting bold in my session today because, well, I'll start out by saying that for those of you who are new to my world, if you're not new to my world, you know I speak about this very openly and you've heard me share this 1,000 times, but I am so open about the extent to which I used to suffer from multiple anxiety disorders. And as Bill said, it began when I was about 2. And I had phobias as a child. Panic disorder came in college. Generalized anxiety disorder came after that. I was a hot mess for a huge chunk of my life. And part of my anxiety problem was that I wrestled with very existential questions. So, why are we here? What is this? Like, literally, like, what is this? And the biggest question that would just get me is that they say God is love, right? Well, how could a loving God kill you? How can a loving God create things that die? And I could not answer that question. I couldn't find an answer to that question. My therapist couldn't answer that question for me. I don't think my therapist quite knew what to do with me. But I found that remedy through A Course in Miracles. I found the answer that I needed through A Course in Miracles. I needed a remedy that could meet me at the depth of my suffering. That remedy being the Course. It has answered every question that I have ever had. So in my session, we're going to take a look at some of the deepest teachings of A Course in Miracles. And I'm actually of the belief that our experience of the Course, where it can bring us, is in its infancy. I mean, it's only about 50 years old. So I still think that we are in its infancy. The Course is in its infancy. The experience of it is helping so many, but I think that there's an opportunity here for all of us to continually go deeper. I know I can go deeper, and my invitation in my session is for us to explore some really radical and deep ideas in the Course. So in my session, I am going to share a very radical idea that is actually quite blasphemous to the ego. And I'm aware it sounds completely crazy, even if, if you're familiar with the Course, it might sound crazy. And if you are totally new to the Course, it's going to sound completely out there, especially with the pandemic happening right now, with death in our faces. So as Lisa always says, I want you to watch your mind like a hawk right now as I say what I am about to say, and I just want you to notice what comes up in your mind. The body does not have to die. The mind that's projecting the body can simply stop the projection, and the body can disappear. The body can leave the world through light instead of through death. And I just want you to notice right now what's coming up. Just notice whatever it is that's there. Just welcome it. When I sent this out to my email list, I got more emails back than I expected with people saying that they were so relieved to hear this. But it doesn't mean that all of us are experiencing relief. Some of us might be experiencing shock, just thinking that can't happen. That's death denial. All bodies will die. But right there, if that's coming up, that's a reflection of our devotion to death. It's a reflection of an agreement that we made long ago to die, to keep the dream of separation going. And I feel emotional just speaking about this because this just really cuts to the core of, I think, what the Course is teaching us. I'll be talking about some examples, some quotes. This is a hunch that I've held for a long time, but I've been very comfortable to sit back and just let other teachers talk about this. And some have. And however, I've received some guidance that's been absolutely unmistakable, like down to writing the description, writing the title for my presentation, down to the slides. I do have some slides prepared because I have some diagrams I want to show, literally down to the slide. Like the guidance was like, yes, put this in. No, don't put that in. And so I feel like it's time for us to be looking at these deeper teachings. And with the title of this conference being a new beginning, I mean, what better thing than to have this new idea? It's going to be a new idea for some of us, that the body can leave through light. It's like a seed that can be planted in our minds. And as we share this seed, as we water this seed, it's an idea that can grow. And in the world of form, before anything happens, what is it first? But it's an idea. So this is an idea that I'm hoping that we can just plant in our minds, to let it percolate, to see what comes out of it. So in my session, I won't just be talking about theory. We are going to get practical. I have to get practical because that has just been what has been so helpful for me. So we'll be talking about some tools that we can utilize in undoing the dream of death. And Netta Boyne will be joining us for the meditation with music. It's going to be amazing.